Ragnarok and frame performance fixes. Feedback post-content updates. And is ARK's latest map proving the franchise to be back on track? You're right, kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. Because yeah, Ragnarok dropped, and as these things go, wasn't the smoothest of launches, as we've found many a time with every map launched so far. This one, of course, was delayed by 24 hours and met to a plethora of problems. The biggest one, of course, that Xbox players couldn't even play it. Initially, they couldn't even download the map, which obviously left a bitter taste with at least the Xbox players. But we got over that hurdle, and lest we forget the frame performance issues that arrived with the 5.5 update and continued into Ragnarok, with Wildcard being fully aware and it being related to a memory allocation issue, with anyone currently still suffering any issues to try and attempt to roll back their driver updates. But it has to be said, in at least my opinion, and well, some facts to back it up, Ragnarok is and has been the best map launch for ARK Survival Ascended so far. Not only is it the most glorious, beautiful looking map to ARK to date, in fact, so much so that admittedly our compare video comparing ARK Survival Evolved Ragnarok to Ascended Ragnarok really didn't do it justice, but that wasn't really any fault of our own. See, it turns out there's a whole new fog layer to this version, this Unreal 5 remastered map that seemingly doubles on a second fog layer that, when turned off, really pumps out the contrast of colours with this map at certain times and during certain weather effects. It sometimes works at certain times of day, and then sometimes it's actually worth keeping on for other times of day, which we're finding to turn off and on regularly, which is a bit of a shame really, that the initial player's vision experience can really be dampened by this fog layer that proves when turned off it really does pump out those colours and looks like a gorgeous map. On top of that, the weather system in particular is top notch. It really is wonderful to see how the sun rises and the colours change and the wind blows. It feels way more atmospheric than any other ARK map before it. Though we have got some gripes when the blood moon pops out and everything's absolutely full-blown lipstick red, that you can't see toffee, you can't even see dinos flying around the map. It's a bit of a shame. This occasional sunset or sunrise really does make it a bit of a difficult map to navigate at the best of times. But look to the stars, look to the skies, and you will see one of the best things that has arrived to Ragnarok, and it's simply clouds. Wow, wow, wow. They look amazing. They really, really do. And I hope Wildcard will backdate these improvements to every other map before it. And the numbers speak for themselves, this Ragnarok launch being the highest player counted, at least on Steam, since launch. So much so that Nitrado sold out of their ARK Survival Ascended servers in Sydney and Miami. An unprecedented moment as far as I know, not remembering this ever being a problem before. Yeah, I guess maybe Nitrado maybe had a smaller allocation of servers and kind of jazzed it up a bit, but I've never once seen or heard Nitrado to say they've sold out of servers, at least during Ascended's life cycle. And whilst we're really enjoying our experience on the map, there's still definitely some ways to go, at least for bug fixes. One particular one being wild spawns seems to be incredibly sparse across both servers and single player. While single player, there's some excuse there. I've always found single player spawns to be a bit bare at the best of times. Official servers are pretty damn poor to find creatures too, and in fact I'm hearing unofficial servers are having the same problems as well. This could be related to the dino count multiplier setting, or maybe something related to that that's somehow affected with Ragnarok, and hopefully the devs are aware of this. Of course, there's bigger fish to fry at the moment with the frame performance issues we've been encountering since launch, but this is definitely one I hope is on their radar to resolve soon across the board. Speaking of performance, a pretty hefty patch just rolled out to finally allow frame gen to be turned off. Oh my god, it's finally happened. With Dolly explaining that 4000 series Nvidia cards that are capable of DLSS frame gen will have it enabled by default, and anything older than that or AMD cards will use FSR frame generation by default. With a few more fixes on bugs there, and of course the settings not saving properly as it has been meaning to for a while. I ran a little test with frame gen off and on, and well, you be the judge yourself. There's definitely a frame hit by turning frame gen off. Of course it's going to be, because then there's no cheaty way to fill in the gaps, but it definitely is, at least from an input perspective, a much smoother experience there. Of course, if you want to take advantage of frame gen off, you're probably going to have to lower those settings a little bit less epic settings for you. If you're on 4000 series or below, I'm kind of keen to hear how 5000 series are getting on. Of course, this is only related to Steam at the moment. Console performance is as it's running right now. I'm still hearing from people on Xbox Series S in particular of how bad an experience they're having. I honestly, frankly think that is what you're going to get to ensure at least a stable performance for ARK for the foreseeable future, though that is simply just my opinion. Maybe Wildcard will introduce something to improve that. I don't know though, man. Series S is Series S, right? And that's at least the immediate going on, with the recent birthday event just wrapping up, and well, it was running for quite a long time, so expecting poor rates for a while. But to be fair, Summer Bash is an event that Wildcard have year on year, and well, we're at the end of June. Normally it comes out by now. Are we going to be seeing it over the next few weeks? Everything's pointing to yes, with possibly some announcement about that this weekend. But there's definitely still a lot more to patch, looking in particular at the Lost Colony content as well, with well, a few bugs and exploits doing the rounds. A big one, of course, the telekinesis skill of the skill tree you get with the day one Lost Colony pre-order content is being abused, as I hear, across the official network, with hackers being able to use it to steal things from people's bases right under their noses. I had a theory that maybe you could turn Jennies off doing this, but what I didn't think about was the ability to turn tech force fields off, and well, people figured that one out pretty quick. Because yeah, a recent patch dropped last night to explain, yeah, telekinesis no longer works on activated tech shields. There's going to be some barriers there. I imagine some of these skills, with the seemingly overpowered abilities you can execute with this, we'll probably be finding even more exploits to fix as time ticks on. I'll be doing a more in-depth look at this in the near future. I do want to find out if I can try and push some of these myself and see what else gets exploited right before you do. We'll see. And the building template tool, whilst as innovative as it is, has not been without a few bugs as well. Console players especially had an issue even using this day one at launch, and there's definitely a barrier when it comes to copying templates from other players. At least on PC, it's pretty simple to copy and paste a template from anyone that's made it, though console players, how do you copy and paste yourself? Because the paste function is seemingly automated, and whilst yes, I love this, I think this is insane, how does console do this? On top of this, there are definitely a few other bugs that GG Fizz was in our chat last night talking about they're definitely working to improve and resolve on. One recent one that we encountered unofficial was the inability to complete a blueprint if you can't completely build what you want and just want to complete it there and then and finish off building without the giant blue grid surrounding your build. And for the next 2 days, we've got to suffer with a blue blueprint surrounding our build, in the knowledge that there's a little note function when you select templates to tell you just a little bit more about what it is, what it does, and if it's working on official or unofficial, something we found out ourselves and learnt the hard way. But you know, baby steps, learning curves. This is such a revolutionary integration to ARK. I am absolutely overjoyed to see this finally in ARK. Just a little bit of a shame that this one is locked behind the Lost Colony content, in my opinion. I really wish we'd seen this integrated for everyone. But in a recent debate, it was pointed out to me, do you actually need this in ARK or not? As a new player, is this something you'd be bothered about or not? Is it something that's putting players off playing ARK? Which is onto another gripe of mine with a lot of different content pieces. There is a worry as a new player to ARK, is there too much behind different doors to get the full experience, or is there enough experience in the 10 years that players like me know everything now and are yearning for new ARK content? A definitely hot debate I want to go into more. Maybe even try and get a podcast in with a bunch of other creators in the near future, and let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Either way, I hear whispers that a giant Ragnarok update is dropping at the end of this week, and rumour has it that there could possibly be even more content updates, actual physical assets being added to the map with this update, or maybe more in the future. I've heard a few PvPers out there especially trying to fight for new caves on Ragnarok. Could it happen? Would it happen? I guess we'll find out. Either way, I'm really enjoying this new version of Ragnarok, perhaps more than any other Ascended map. That novelty feeling that I felt was slowing down pretty quick after playing a map doesn't feel like it's anywhere around the corner soon. More helped by the arrival of such brand new islands, ruins, landmarks and areas to explore. There's a lot to do and see with this new version of Ragnarok. And well, is this hitting the mark, or are there things that you think could be improved on this? Please do comment below, let me know, and maybe we can try and feedback a few things, especially the weather, the fog. We're almost there. It's so much better than previous maps. Just a few kinks to iron out. Until the next one, my name is Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and as always, peace out.